Holy crap, you guys. It has been so long. Well, at least it feels like a long time since I have done a live show. In all reality, it's only been about a month, over a month. But, I got off work earlier. I had a really good day. And I was just like, you know what? I was like, I want to do a live show. It is long overdue. And then, as we're going to talk about, I saw this little Deandre Ayton rumor, and I put that in quotations, rumor going on. And then I saw a couple other Suns related things. And I was like, you know what? I was like, there's enough to talk about here. And again, it's long overdue. And I know that the show was spontaneous. I know I didn't really let you guys know in advance. That's on me. So, couple quick disclaimers before we really dive into this. First off, if you guys have been following me on social media and all that, you guys know that I was actually sick a little bit. I got sick like twice in a matter of like 2 weeks. And you guys have heard me say this on the show before. Real life comes first. I do have a job outside of this YouTube stuff, and sometimes work gets a little frustrating, and again, real life comes first. I was busy with some other stuff and just really living life, trying to let the days pass before the NBA season starts, which we are going to talk about that later. So yeah, that's just a couple quick disclaimers. But again, if you guys have been following the channel, you guys know that I've been consistently uploading. And that's been the goal really all off season, is just to consistently upload, pump out the best Phoenix Suns content that I can for you. If you guys have really been following, you guys know that I've done, I sprinkled in a couple NBA 2K videos with my guy, Thunder Steve 85. So with all that out of the way, you guys, this is going to be a fun show. I know that it was spontaneous. I know that it's long overdue, but I am really excited for today's show because we are going to talk about the Deandre Ayton quote trade rumor. We're going to talk about JaMychal Green, maybe to the Suns, a Suns lineup possibility, Kelly Oubre to the Sixers. Yes, I'm rocking my Kelly Oubre shirt if you're watching right now. And I got a couple things to show you guys as well. Real quick, to Adrian, Olivia, if you are still watching, definitely watch towards the end because I'm going to share something. I'm pretty sure you know what it is. So shout out to you. And I got a couple other things I want to share with you guys as well. All right. With all of that out of the way, thank you so much, D-Book, who says, "Hey, Geek, you're my favorite Suns channel." I appreciate that. All right, y'all. Let's dive into the meat of this whole thing. Keep in mind, you guys, before I start this off, and real quick, I hope that the thumbnail and the title of this live show isn't clickbait. That was not my intention. You guys know me. I keep it real with you guys. I do my best to bring you guys the best Phoenix Suns, news and information that I possibly can. So again, the clickbait wasn't really my intention. And I don't want to say that these people involved don't have sources because I don't know that. I can't speak on that. But we never really know who has sources and who doesn't. So I just wanted to start with that. Now, this all really started, and feel free to fact check me in the comments if I'm wrong here. I'll try to keep my eye on the chat as best I can. But I believe that all of this started through what is potentially now a deleted Twitter account. And yes, I'm sorry, this does come from Twitter. So if you guys can see my screen right now, I guess the account was Dropping Dimes 20 or something. And I think it was August 28th, he tweeted out, "Some scoop I've heard, Levine will be moved eventually," which I can give you guys my thoughts on the Bulls later. But a couple of key guys on the Bulls do not like playing with him. Not a winning player. Too much money owed and asking price is high is why he has not been traded yet. Portland is a potential. So he tweeted that out. And I think he also tweeted out that like Deandre Ayton was a possibility or something. And he said, crying emoji, y'all will see this soon. I told you so. So then, Twitter, Twitter starts going on with all these Deandre Ayton trade things. And there was another account, with all due respect to, I think his name is D Coldest on Twitter. I don't know if he has sources or not, but he said something like, if I may. And then all these Deandre Ayton trade rumors started swirling, and Twitter overreacted like they always do. And heck, you could even point the finger at me and say that I'm overreacting. But this is why I wanted to make this live show. I almost just did a video, but I was like, nah, screw that. I was like, it's been way too long. I was like, it's long overdue. Let's talk about some Suns. So again, I'm not saying that this Twitter account or DColdest, I'm not saying they don't have sources. Who knows if they do? Doesn't matter. Here is why I think the Deandre Ayton trade rumor, this particular Deandre Ayton trade rumor, is BS. Here's why. Because first off, in my personal opinion, whether you love Deandre Ayton or whether you hate Deandre Ayton, it doesn't make sense to me. Now, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I will say that tomorrow. I will say it in a week. I will say it in a month. It's not out of the realm of possibility that Deandre Ayton gets traded. But getting traded right now, I think, doesn't make any sense. Now, heck, we could all wake up tomorrow or in a couple days from now and our phones will be blowing up. Deandre Ayton's been traded to this team. And then I'll be eating my words. You know what I mean? But right now, as of what's today's date? September 18th at 9:38 my time, it doesn't make any sense. So you're like, okay, Suns Geek, we get the point. Tell us why. Because we have not seen what Deandre Ayton looks like, and we have not seen what Deandre Ayton can do with this current Phoenix Suns team. Now, we had a nice preview of that, a nice teaser, if you will, during the Bahamas with Eric Gordon during the FIBA qualifying tournament, which I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. And that's sort of my point, you guys. Think about it. Sure, we had a couple names return, but this is pretty much a brand new roster. And look at our coaching staff. The only coach that returned was Kevin Young. We have a completely new coaching staff. And with that comes a new offense, a new defense, new philosophies, et cetera, et cetera. And I never use the word philosophies, by the way, but it's true. I believe it. You know, obviously all the great stuff with Matt Ishbia and everything he's been doing. You know, James Jones is still here. But in a way, it's like we have a brand new Phoenix Suns team. And, you know, everything going on with the whole, you know, Arizona family taking over and the free streaming and the antennas and all that great stuff that Matt Ishbia is doing. We haven't seen this version of Deandre Ayton, who I am confident is working really hard in the offseason to improve his game. I've made a couple videos about it prior to the Bahamas stuff that he did. And then there was that video that was trending. I think it was somebody on TikTok, I forget his name, Joy of Everything or whatever. I think I follow him on TikTok, but he had a video where it was like the UCLA or something like that. He was filming and you saw Kevin Durant there. You saw Booker, Deandre Ayton, Bol, I think was there. And they were all in the gym. And I think there was like another photo or another video showing them going into the gym. Either way, Deandre Ayton, I truly believe, has been working on his game. And that's why if we did wake up tomorrow and Deandre Ayton was traded, it just wouldn't make sense. It would just be like jumping the gun, if you will. And I can't even put together what a trade package to the Bulls would look like. And then now I'm seeing all this James Harden stuff. It's, guys, I think it's a BS rumor, if you will. It's totally fake. And again, I'm not saying that these people don't have inside sources, but I think this particular Deandre Ayton thing is BS. And I feel like if you and I, everybody watching the show and I, were to ask James Jones right now, if we were just to call him up on the phone right now, James Jones, Deandre Ayton getting traded, he probably would say no. And he would probably decline these rumors hardcore. And I'm sure that he, you know, maybe I'm biased here, but I'm confident he would probably agree with me for the reasons that I just went over. My phone just went off. Because again, we just haven't seen what Deandre Ayton can do. Now, let me get a little negative for a minute, but I'm just trying to keep it as real as possible. Again, if, let's say, we're in January, not even that, let's say we're in December, a couple months after the season starts, right? And let's say this is the same old Deandre Ayton that we've seen. He's putting up, let's say he's putting up a double-double, but he's slow. He's not putting 110% on defense. He's hesitating, et cetera, right? Let's say maybe he has a little bit of back and forth going with Frank Vogel and all them. Let's say it's the same old DA, right? Then hell yeah, trade him. You know what I mean? We may not even make it to December, and myself and many other Suns fans will be saying trade Deandre Ayton. But again, if we see even just a smidge of the Deandre Ayton that we saw in those Bahama games and the pre-qualifying games, if we see just an even better version of Deandre Ayton that we haven't even seen before, then no way is he getting traded. Also, let's talk about Frank Vogel for a minute, because if you remember, and it wasn't just in his introductory, I can't say that word. It wasn't just in his intro press conference. I think he was on a couple other like radio shows and podcasts and all that. I really do, or should I say, I really am going to take Frank Vogel for his word when he says that he has been building a relationship with Deandre Ayton. He did say that in his press conference, and if you really look into it, he has said it on other platforms and shows. Now, I don't know what that relationship looks like. It could just be a text message conversation. Maybe they've called each other. I don't know. But I'm going to take Frank Vogel for his word and believe that they are building a relationship. And again, you guys, I talked about this during Frank Vogel's press conference recap, which go check that out, by the way. It's on the channel. That's a great sign that your head coach wants you here in Phoenix and wants you to play well and potentially for you to have an all-star season. Because I think Frank Vogel does believe that Deandre Ayton can be an all-star. So that's just, reason 5 why it would make no sense to trade Deandre Ayton right now. And that's why I think this rumor is BS. And let's be real, you guys. I said this in the last video I made. It was the YouTube short talking about Josh Okogie's PS5 giveaway, which he is doing, by the way. Check that out. But I said, guys, it's like middle of September. We're going to go over it later, but there's like 36 days or something till the season starts. I'm like, I'm just trying to make enough content here to get us through. But anyways, also, you know how I mentioned how he's been doing the off-season work with KD, Book, Bull Bold at the UCLA, which, I mean, who knows how many times they've actually gone to UC. Oops, I hit my mic. But who knows how many times they've actually gone to UCLA and have trained together. I'm sure they're all doing their own off-season work and all that. But my point is that, and I don't remember if Bradley Beal was there, but my point is that 2 of our big 3 and 3 of our big 4, if you want to count Ayton as a big 3, they've been in the gym together. They've been working. And by the way, you guys, again, we're going to talk about it later, but I believe training camp is only like 2 weeks away or something like that. So even if they are doing their own separate workouts right now, they better be working on their games right now, because again, training camp's in a couple weeks and then preseason, and then all of a sudden the NBA season is going to be here. So vacation time is pretty much over for them. And I also think it's really good, and I've talked about it in previous videos, but I really feel like Deandre Ayton's experience with the Bahamas, this past summer, and especially with Eric Gordon, is going to pay, what's the phrase? Pay big dividends or whatever. It's going to be huge for him in the future. Because one, you've already built that on and off the court chemistry with a veteran in this league, and with somebody who I've really loved as a player throughout his career. And I know Suns fans were hyped when we got Eric Gordon, but you built that on and off the court relationship already with Eric Gordon. And I'm sure they worked on some things that they're probably going to practice during the season together, and they're going to work on it. But not only that, again, I'm going back to the UCLA thing, which is, already in the gym with KD, already in the gym with Book, Bull, it's huge. I really, and again, I could be eating my words later down the road, but I believe we're going to see a new Deandre Ayton, a better Deandre Ayton, a more motivated Deandre Ayton. And I would be shocked, but not necessarily super surprised if he gets traded, at least, by tomorrow or next week or whatever. He's not going to get traded, y'all. That's pretty much what I'm trying to tell you. So again, I'm not trying to like clickbait you guys. That's not my intention here. I just wanted to give my thoughts and pretty much call this DA trade rumor BS. So again, if you're on Twitter, it's there. There was some account, if you guys are just joining, dropping dimes 20 or something, was talking about Zach LaVine and him getting traded, and the James Harden trade rumors never go away, and then he mentioned DA as a possibility. And look, y'all, real quick, y'all. So let me go on my quick Chicago Bulls rant, and then I'll be done with that. But I'm really frustrated with the Bulls. They're literally the definition of borderline blow it up / borderline do a very strong retool. You know what I mean? Like, sure, they can run it back with what they have. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. I like the addition of former Phoenix Sun Torrey Craig, and I like the addition of former Phoenix Sun Javon Carter. But, like, they're not going to win a championship. Even if they somehow, like, overachieved, they would get to, like, the first round, maybe second max. And from what I've been told by my guy, Super Mario Hoops, their GM is being really stubborn, and he even was at a press conference, and I believe he said that we're going to run it back, which I think is stupid. Don't be surprised if in like maybe 2 years, this Chicago Bulls team is probably tanking or rebuilding. I mean, I could be wrong. Who knows? But I just don't like their team at all. They brought back Nikola Vucevic. DeMar DeRozan, even though he was like in the MVP conversation a couple of years ago, he's aging. Zach LaVine's a great player and all, but like, I don't know, y'all. That's my Chicago Bulls rant. And look, you guys know me. I try to look at things through both sides of the coin, right? Let's be real. Deandre Ayton is a possibility for a lot of teams, not just the Chicago Bulls. How many times have I made videos or live shows about Deandre Ayton could get traded to the Indiana Pacers? Deandre Ayton could get traded to this team. It's like every week or every month, especially when the season's going on, there's a new Deandre Ayton trade rumor. I mean, maybe I'm wrong here, and I don't mean to sound rude, but like, that's either a really good thing or a really bad thing for Deandre. So, I don't mean to make this Deandre Ayton segment kind of short-winded or whatever. And don't worry, we still got a little bit more to talk about. I know that that's probably a lot of the reason you guys clicked on the show tonight, which I do appreciate. We got over 40 people in here, and we just passed the 20-minute mark. So, guys, do me a favor, crush that like button, share the show. We still got lots more to go over. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. I've been keeping my eye on the chat. I'll do my best to try to get to all the comments and everything. If you guys have a question or something, a comment, concern, whatever it may be, I will try to get to it. Speaking of that, let's just get to a couple of comments. Class Nasty says, we need DA. Big Bacon Beats, it was in here earlier. My guy, Adrian Olivia's in here. He says, these rumors need to stop. Let's go, Suns. I agree with that. Mark Jackson's in here. Appreciate you, man. Backcourt highlights. What's good, man? Let's go. Finally, another live show. Abraham's in here. Greetings. Jeremy says, cool hat, Geek. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, my guy, DJ Ocho, who you guys might know, he's been on this channel a few times, was generous enough to send me this Summer League hat. And then he also sent me a kind of a brighter orange version of this hat. I wore it in my recent video live show, not live show, my recent video YouTube short that I made. Speaking of that YouTube short, y'all, like I said, Josh Okogie is doing a PS5 giveaway, PlayStation 5 giveaway. Now he mentioned that it was going to be next week, and then here we are, like what, a couple days later, and he's gone dark. He hasn't even responded because I tweeted at him a few times and he didn't even respond. So follow him on Twitch. I think I put his Twitch link in the description of that video, and turn on his noties on Twitter. I'm sure he's going to do it because that's what he said anyways. So if you guys want a PS5, I mean, heck, I wouldn't mind a free PS5. Go check that out. All right, y'all, let's see. PDog06 says if DA doesn't fulfill his all promise, I can't read, he deserves to be traded. Exactly. Hope for his sake he balls and gets his junk together. Exactly, y'all. All right, guys. Let me just see if I didn't make any comments. Inspector Todd kind of sums it up perfectly. Last thing we need is another overpaid wing, which is why when you guys hear the James Harden stuff to Phoenix, I call BS on that, because one, it's probably way too expensive, and two, it just doesn't make sense in terms of fit. Yeah, I don't know. All right, y'all. I'll try to get to more comments later. Shout out to my guy Casey, who's in here. Casey, if you're still watching, you also, I hope you'll stay tuned till the end of the show, because I'm going to share something. Again, I got a couple things to share from two different great people that I'm excited to share. Big Bacon Beats, I do see your comment. I'm going to actually talk about that a little bit later. All right, y'all. Let's continue on here. Okay. So now I believe this article came out a couple days ago. Yeah, this was actually, that was like 4 or 5 days ago. So this was September 14th. And I felt like this was interesting to talk about. I'm not going to spend too much time on this certain subject, but I feel like it's worth discussing. So give me 1 second here, you guys. Let me just share my screen. So this comes from Bleacher Report. And one of these names, obviously, we're going to go over in a little bit, because he was just picked up today by the Sixers. But, let me fix that. That looks terrible right there. All right. So, yeah, this does come from Bleacher Report. Ideal landing spots for NBA's top 10 current free agents. Now, again, this is just Bleacher Report's opinion. Take that as you will. So if you scroll down a little bit, first off, there's former Phoenix Sun Kelly Oubre, who we are going to talk about later. So you scroll down a little bit, and number 6 on the list is JaMychal Green. Now, I'll be real with you guys. You guys know I keep it real. I don't really know that much about JaMychal Green, besides the fact that he's been in the league a long time. And, I looked up some stuff today, in terms of numbers and his career and all that. And if I'm correct, I believe I'm correct when I say he hasn't even played a full season, unfortunately. I think his career has sort of been derailed by injuries, but he's not necessarily a terrible player either. He's been in the league a long time and can bring you a little bit of value. So here's what Bleacher Report is saying about JaMychal Green. Now, again, this is the ideal landing spots for the top 10 current free agents via Bleacher Report. And as you can see on the screen, let me zoom in a little bit. If you guys can read that, hopefully you guys can. Now, you guys know I suck at reading, but they have JaMychal Green going to the Phoenix Suns. And they say, even with a seemingly random off year in 2021-22, JaMychal Green has hit 37% of his three-point attempts over the last 5 seasons, yada, yada, yada. Didn't have a great season. I guess last year with the Nuggets. I don't even know how many games he played last year with the Nuggets, if I remember correctly. But they go on to say, take out that Nuggets campaign, and that mark climbs to 39% pretty much. That's an excellent mark for somebody who can play. Now this is kind of what I wanted to talk about here. Now, and I highlighted it on the screen. There's an excellent, sorry, I can't read. Give me a second here, you guys. Let me catch my breath here. Okay, let's try that again. That's an excellent mark for someone who can play either the 4 or as a small ball 5. And his ability to drag opposing bigs away from the rim could come in handy for a Phoenix Suns team loaded with one-on-one scoring. I do like that. And then they also mention Devin Booker, Durant, Bradley Beal could all benefit from facing up against an open paint, which is what Green's shooting could provide. Now, he's 33 years old. They say he wouldn't take a ton of minutes away from Deandre Ayton and, behind Drew Eubanks on that depth chart, but he brings an element neither of those big centers do. So again, sort of like with this Deandre Ayton thing, sort of with, this JaMychal Green thing, none of this has, proof around it. There's no like sources or anything. This is all just rumors. This is all just speculation, especially in Bleacher Report's case where, they're just going down the list of the best, at least 10 free agents, and where they would fit best. And according to Bleacher Report, I believe it's Andy Bailey believes that he would be a good fit with the Phoenix Suns. And when I first read this article and I was kind of doing a little quote research, if you will, about JaMychal Green, the first thing that popped into my head was, okay, he seems like he could be valuable here. I'm sure he would, start booking all them, would love playing with them. But like, first off, to my knowledge, we don't have a roster spot for him. Now, sure, that could change after training camp. That could change after the preseason because you have to have your roster set, I believe. I think it's before preseason starts or at least after. You have to at least have 15 guys. Somebody could get cut, whatever the case may be, right? But as of right now, we do not have a roster spot. Now, if you ask James Jones, he will say, oh, we're always trying to look at, ways to improve the roster, but I don't see this happening right now. Again, it's probably possible. And heck, there's 9 other guys on this list and maybe guys we're not even thinking of that could join the Suns later on. But as of right now, you guys, our roster is full. And let's be real. If you guys have been following Woj and Shams, there's going to be a lot of training camp deals. The Suns will probably bring 3 random players onto their training camp roster. It's going to happen. It could probably happen tomorrow. But as of right now, I don't see this as a possibility. Would I mind JaMychal Green on the Suns? I probably wouldn't mind him. I don't know how many minutes he would get. And I just wanted to confirm real quick. I just Googled him. So last year he played in 57 games. He's played in 544 career games. And if you go to his basketball reference page, which I'm on right now, he has not played a full season in the NBA. The most amount of games he's played, if I'm reading this correctly, 65. And that was all the way back in the 2018-19 season with the Raptors. And again, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't know how he is on defense. We'll see. I don't know. But again, just a rumor. It just is what it is. It's just something to talk about, y'all. I think Bleacher Report did a nice job kind of summing that up or summarizing that up for us and all that. So we will see. Okay, guys, give me 1 second here. I have to send a quick DM to somebody. And then we will continue on because there's a couple other things that I want to go over. Again, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, try to get them in. We'll probably go for about an hour, if not longer. And I do want to read a quick super chat. Thank you so much for doing that. You totally didn't have to do that. But Big Bacon Beat says, what do you think about the new player resting rules? Okay, real quick, y'all. I am the last person to talk about this because I feel like I don't have really enough of a educated opinion on this. I think it's a step forward. I think it's kind of receiving a little too much hate. It's a step forward, but I don't know if it's going to solve the quote load management issues. And another reason that I feel like I'm not really qualified to answer this question is because I'm old school, y'all. I have an old school basketball soul in me. And I truly do believe that if you are healthy, you should play. I mean, I'm going to go way old school on you guys. Players back like in the 50s, 60s, 70s, they didn't care. They didn't care if they had a knee injury, a hurt ankle, a bump, on their body or whatever. Didn't matter. They went out there and played. Unless they were physically incapable of playing, y'all, they went out and played. And I'm not calling this generation soft. I mean, I get, guys, if you guys know me, I've had 2 shoulder injuries in like 5 years. Injuries suck, y'all. Oh, and by the way, real quick, big time prayers for what's his name, Nick Chubb, I believe. The football player that got injured tonight. You guys know me, I'm not a big uh football guy, but I do know that name, and I saw that injury, which by the way, it's sort of gruesome. It's not sort of gruesome. It is gruesome. Don't go look it up, please. Prayers for him. I hope he's okay. But yeah, that was a really bad injury. But yeah, injuries suck. But the load management does have to stop. And it's not even just injuries. Take the injuries out of it. It is true, you guys. These, not these people spend hundreds, thousands of dollars on these tickets. And in some cases, they bring younger children or the younger generation, and their favorite player is not playing for whatever reason. And these kids are probably like, what the heck? Why isn't this player playing? And that's a terrible experience. I mean, heck, I wouldn't want to pay, hundreds of dollars to go to a game and see that Book's not playing, or Beal or KD. That'd suck. So again, I think it's a step forward in the right direction, but is it going to solve all the issues? Probably not. I'm sure some expensive teams out there will find a loophole around this, but I do think eventually it's got to be dealt with the right way. But great question, Big Bacon Beats. And thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You totally didn't have to do that, but I am grateful. And I'm grateful for all of you guys. There's 44 people here, and I'm just sitting here rambling. You guys are all amazing. Even if you're watching later, I appreciate it. DC says JaMychal can shoot. Appreciate that feedback, man. Again, I don't know too much about him, but I'm sure that if the Suns did get him, he'd probably be a fan favorite here. All right, y'all. GT latest. I'll get to your question in a little bit. All right, y'all. The next thing we're going to go over is a lineup that I thought was kind of funny. Now, we're not going to spend too much time on this. So I believe this came from Bright Side of the Sun, which, by the way, my guy John is the site manager over there now. He's got a great team of writers over there. Bright Side of the Sun is amazing. Go check them out. All right, y'all. So I believe this came from Bright Side of the Sun. Now, they called this lineup the Suns Limbs lineup, but I'm calling it the Suns 2K lineup. So this comes from Bright Side of the Sun. Lineup number 2, Limbs. So I'm assuming they would put Kevin Durant at the point guard, Yuta Watanabe at the that doesn't look right. Sorry, y'all. Yuta Watanabe at the guard position, Bol at the forward, Keita Bates-Diop at power forward, if I'm reading this lineup correctly, and then Deandre Ayton at center. They go on to say, look, there's no telling if we'll ever see this chaotic of a lineup from Vogel, but man, it looks fun. Durant at the point, surrounded by shooters, and size makes for an electric basketball viewing experience. Unconventional, sure, but fun. So pretty much it would be a really tall lineup, long, athletic, shooters, all that stuff. It would be a crazy lineup. And again, they went on with a few other lineups. It was a great article. But I thought that lineup was funny. Again, not going to spend too much time on it. But what I will say is this, though, you guys. It's sort of hard to judge, right? Because maybe Frank Vogel would maybe go out of his realm, if you will, and try a crazy lineup like this. But I especially in preseason, and maybe like the first 20 games of the season, maybe first 25 games, I feel like we're going to see some, as Bright Side of the Sun put it, unconventional lineups. We're going to see some weird stuff. And, some fans may not like that. Heck, there might be some lineups where I say I don't like this lineup. But you do got to try it. In all fairness to Monty Williams and in all fairness to Frank Vogel now, you do got to try some lineups. But, in Monty Williams' situation, he tried it at the wrong time during the playoffs and all that. You don't want to do that. Frank Vogel knows that. But I'm down for some crazy lineups like this. Think about it, guys. KD, Utah, Bol, Kada, DeAndre. I mean, I would love to see what that lineup looks like on defense. If you have 2K24 or if you have like the updated roster for 2K23, go try this roster and let me know how it is, y'all. All right, guys. Not going to spend too much time on this next topic. And then after this, we're going to go over some key dates, and then we're going to react to some stuff. And I actually have a guest that spontaneously is going to be joining the show because he's a big part of one of these upcoming segments. Sorry, guys, I was just trying to find the tweet. I think Woj tweeted it, but I'm sure you guys saw it by now. Kelly Oubre, yes, Kelly Oubre, Mr. Valley Boy himself. Let me stand up real quick. I got his shirt on. Yeah, baby. Mr. Valley Boy himself, Kelly Oubre, has signed or is expected to sign. Let me share the tweet real quick, y'all. There we go. Share this tab instead. Okay. Mr. Kelly Oubre. Whoa, that's not working. Let's try that. Okay, there we go. Well, that looks terrible. But anyways, Mr. Kelly Oubre is expected to sign a 1-year deal with the Philadelphia 76ers. And just so you guys know, Philly Take with RB, great content creator, covers the Sixers. He made a video pretty much saying he loves the signing. DJ Eastwood, Run It Back Philly. He also made a video, and he said great things about Oubre, and he is excited for it. I know my guy Romp tweeted about it. He's hyped for it. It's a good signing, y'all. And that's why I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it, because one, Kelly Oubre hasn't played for the Suns in like 3 years. And, this isn't really Suns related, but it's Kelly Oubre. And I love Kelly Oubre. I'll always be biased about him. I always love Kelly Oubre. In my opinion, Oubre really changed like the culture around here. He brought a spark to a Phoenix Suns team that was not very good and that needed life and needed energy. And that's sort of my point with him going to the Sixers is, and I even texted Run It Back, or not Run It Back Philly. I even texted Philly Take with RB about this, and I left a couple comments and all that. I said, I think Sixers fans are really going to love Kelly Oubre because one, he can score. He's athletic. Two, he's a fan favorite because the dude just plays with so much passion and he's great with the fans. You know what I mean? I think he's going to be a fan favorite. Now, will it work out? I don't know. Will he be consistent in Philly? I don't know. But if you go and watch Philly Take with RB's videos and DJ Eastwood, Run It Back Philly and all them, they've said that they needed a wing guy. And in my opinion, they didn't have a great offseason. So this sort of adds to that. And who knows what's going to happen with the James Harden stuff, especially if he gets traded. They're going to need somebody like Kelly Oubre. So that was a huge, huge steal for the Sixers. And we'll just have to see what happens, y'all. But shout out to Kelly Oubre, man. All right, y'all. Let me take a sip of my water. We're going to go over some NBA key dates. And then we're going to share something. And then to end the show, we're going to bring on a guest who did something for me. And he's been on this channel before. So give me 1 second, y'all. Cheers. All right, y'all. And again, there was a question in here that I do want to get to. So if you guys got any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Jeremy says, Bull's amazing in 2K24. Guys, I need to make more Bull content. I am so hyped for Bull. I'm probably overhyping Bull, but I can't wait, man. I think he's going to surprise some people. All right, y'all. So let's click out of this. And let's pull up the NBA key dates. Okay, so remember earlier when I said, there's about 2 weeks or so until training camp. So it hasn't officially been announced. But I've been DMing some people, not saying that I have sources or anything, because I really don't. But I've been messaging people who would know about this. And it's not officially confirmed, but Media Day is rumored and probably expected to be on October 2nd, which I believe is a Monday. I requested that day off, to be honest with you guys. But yeah, so media day is right around the corner. And then speaking of that, the day after media day, if you see on the screen right here, training camp opens for the remaining teams. Now, there's a couple of teams that are playing overseas, I think, so their media day is going to be a little bit sooner and their training camp will start sooner, but that's just for those couple of teams. But for most teams, October 3rd, guys, that is like 2 weeks away. You know, I'm pumped. And then look at that start date. Start of the NBA preseason, October 5th. And then the Suns' first the Suns' first preseason game is October 8th. It doesn't show it on here, but that's the Suns' first preseason game against former Phoenix Suns head coach Monty Williams and the Detroit Pistons. And then look at that. October 24th, start of the 2023-24 regular season, Suns, Warriors, NBA's opening night. And then, you got the in-season tournament, blah, 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 All-Star weekend. So the point being, going over these key dates, y'all, is All-Star weekend, or not All-Star weekend. Training camp is right around the corner. Media day is almost here. And in my personal opinion, because I'm a nerd, I'm a Suns geek, media day for me is when the NBA season starts. That's just for me personally. That's when it all kicks off. And actions speak louder than words, you guys, but I'm going to be doing so many live shows, y'all. This is going to be a crazy good season. I can't wait. I got so much content and live shows planned for you guys. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, I just wanted to go over those key dates. All right, y'all. So I wanted to share something that I did share on my social media about like maybe a week or so ago. I had a fan who I believe is in the chat right now, subscriber of the show, nice guy and everything. He took the time to do his beautiful artwork, and he drew, and I'm sure you guys saw this, but he drew me and John from the Suns Jam Session podcast. Go check them out. He drew us, and look, you guys, I'm not gonna lie. First off, it's not every day that, literally, it's the first time anyone's ever drawn me, for one. But two, it's like, and I'm going to share it on the screen right now. Let me see if you guys can see this. Hold on. It's just really flattering that he drew us. And as I put in my tweet and I put it on my Instagram, I said, humble brag here. One of my subscribers took the time to draw this incredible artwork of John and me. One of the nicest things anyone has ever done for me. So the point being is that it's not every day that a fan draws me, and he literally, I'll pull the picture up so you guys can see it. Look, that's beautiful, y'all. Like, he took the time out of his day to do that. And when I saw that, like, my heart like skipped a beat. It made my whole day. I was like, oh my God, y'all. Like, that's amazing, y'all. Like, anytime you guys do anything for me, it's a huge deal to me, because I'm so grateful. And I tried to practice my gratitude, and this was just something huge. And I was like, dude, can you please send me that picture? I was like, I want to humbly brag about it. So Adrian, Olivia, if you're still watching, or if you're watching later, thank you so much. Truly grateful. And yeah, I had to share that real quick, because it's an incredible drawing. And again, shout out to my guy, John, Suns Jam Session podcast. You know him. Go subscribe. All right, y'all. So again, just wanted to get that out of the way. Shout out to Adrian, Olivia. Beautiful picture. I will truly never forget that. And again, it's a humble brag, y'all. All right, guys. So what we're going to do now, and this is a spontaneous segment here, and Adrian Olivia is actually in the chat right now, and he says, thank you, brother. Means a lot. Much love. Well, much love to you, man. I truly appreciate it. Okay. Let me put on my headphones. Now, this is all a spontaneous segment. Another thing that I wanted to show you guys. I've been spoiled lately. I've been spoiled by you guys, and I'm truly grateful. Sorry, I'm plugging in my headphones. So you guys know that my guy Casey, formerly known as NBA Uni Tracker, doing some good things and all that, he made my logo, which, which I can't even find it right now, is you guys can see kind of at the top of the screen. You guys have seen it. I post it all the time. He made my logo, right? Well, I don't even remember when it was. It was recently. He decided to make sort of a newer logo for me, and I'm actually going to bring him on right now. We're going to talk about it. So let me add him to this. So my guy, newest Kings fan, we're going to call him King Geek.
King's Geek.
He joins the show.
What's going on?
He's going to tell me about the redesign that we're going to kind of show the well, not really a redesign. How would you talk, Casey? I don't know.
An update, I guess you can say. It's an update.
An update. Yeah.
Yeah.
So should I show it real quick?
Yeah, it's your show. Do what you want to do.
Cool. All right, let's start with this.
I'll just work on my McFlurry while.
Well, what kind of McFlurry did you get, man?
Oreo, man, all day.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. So here's the newest updated logo. Now this is the transparent one. Because I asked you to do a transparent one so I could add to like thumbnails and all that. But here's sort of the redesign. You want to kind of go, and I'll pull up the other two while you're talking.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, but go.
Basically, it's just basically updating to match the new jerseys and all that. So that's all. Just a basic upgrade.
I love it, man.
As you can see right here, it kind of matches the jersey. The basketball is. You switched it up on me. I was ready. I can see the basketball matches the streak on the jersey there with the little shadow there.
Yep.
It just a basic to match the new set.
Beautiful,
but there's also another one. Yeah, this is to match the city edition that leaks.
Now, real quick, for anybody who cares, I haven't actually posted these on social media. I don't know why. Probably lazy, distracted, watching too many movies. I don't know.
Are you talking about the jerseys or the logos?
The logos.
You said you were going to wait till a live show. This was kind of spontaneous.
Yep, exactly, yeah. I was like, screw it. I was like, I'm going over the artwork. I might as well just go over the logos and, then eventually post them on social, sort of an update. Anytime I have a channel update, by the way, I usually post the logo you made for me and say, hey, guys, here's what's going on in the channel. But no, Casey, real talk, man. Like, I appreciate this. You do great work. And I just wanted to express my gratitude, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I think you actually posted the latest update. I was like, he needs one to match. So then I took, it was like, I don't know, I think it was like 30 minutes. Like, here, how does this look?
Right.
You didn't even know. I just sent it randomly. You're like, what?
No, man, I appreciate it, man. Again, guys, this was sort of a spontaneous segment. I just, we had to go over this as part of the show. It's good to get the actual creator here, again, who did my original logo, on here, going over it. And I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And real quick, you guys, Casey, I'm sure that we've talked about this before, but I had a question earlier. Rob asked here, are you going to any Suns games this season? And then let me find the question. Somebody asked.
I won't be, unfortunately. I don't live in Phoenix area.
Yeah.
So.
And you're a Kings fan, so.
Yeah.
Do you want to, real quick, while I'm finding this question, do you want to describe why you just decided to convert into a Kings fan?
Well, I left the team I was following in 2021 for personal reasons. I'm not going to tell you the team is, but they won the championship after I left. So
yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I wonder who that could be. But I wanted to go local. I went to one game with a buddy of mine. Actually, if you guys follow him, it's Jazz Beauty Tracker. Yep. I went to a game with him in Sacramento, and the atmosphere is great. And I was kind of just thinking about it. And as of now, I'm not going to go back to being a fan of my local teams. I went for the next local team, which is actually probably closer to my house. So I chose the Kings. People keep saying like, "Oh, it's so bandwagon." I was like, I looks like it. I promise that's not the reason why. Like, the atmosphere is great. I want to keep somewhat close to me. So
you better become a Kings expert here, or I'm going to call you
working on it. Working on it.
So again, Big Bacon Beats earlier asked, Geek, are you living in Phoenix? And then earlier, it was Rob who asked, am I going to any Phoenix Suns games this season? So I actually did want to talk about this because, again, Casey, spontaneous show. We're freestyling at this point. So I'm not going to get too personal on here, but if you guys do not know, I do not actually live in Phoenix. I'm not going to get into a reason why. It's a long, boring story, but I do not live in Phoenix. But I do have a small announcement, though, and I've contacted my close friends about this and certain people. And don't get too excited, y'all, but I am actually going to be visiting Phoenix from October 6th to the 11th. So, first off, if you guys see me or you recognize me, please don't come kill me, but please come say hello. Like, please come say hello, come join me, come talk, come be part of the vlog and all that. And I don't want to overhype this, y'all. I'm still planning it, but I have some big things planned from when I'm there. If you guys catch my drift, you know what I mean? I'm pretty excited, y'all. I'm going to have a huge vlog coming out, maybe some podcasts with some other Suns creators. We'll see. Just giving y'all a hint. It's going to be crazy, y'all. And then I see my guy DJ Ocho's in the chat, and let's just say him and I got something planned soon as well. So, yeah. But that's that little announcement. And again, if you guys don't know, no, I do not live in Phoenix, but I will be visiting Phoenix. I was going to make a YouTube short kind of closer to that date. And yeah. So, but yeah, guys, to be honest, I think that's it. And unless somebody, there actually is a question in here. Hold on. There is a question I did want to get to. And then we'll probably, unless you got a question, Casey, or something you want to talk about, I think we'll probably call it a wrap. Real quick, I do want to get to this question. How do you think Ayton will perform next season? With the 3 stars spreading the floor and taking attention away from him, will he get more space to do what he does best? See, I think that's sort of the high expectations that Ayton has now. Is that we have so many stars and great role players who can space the floor that Deandre Ayton should just completely eat. Deandre Ayton's life should be easier. He should clean up the messes, grab those rebounds, block some shots. And I know everyone gives him crap for not dunking, but freaking rim run, set pick and rolls, and throw the damn ball in the basket. You know what I mean? So again, I sort of talked about it earlier, but if we can get even just a smidge of the Deandre Ayton that we saw in the Bahamas games and all that, even just a better version of that, a more motivated Deandre Ayton, I think he's going to perform great. And if Frank Vogel really is a great, with working with big men, like formerly like Roy Hibbert and all these other guys, maybe we'll see a brand new Deandre Ayton. So I had to get to that question. That was a good question.
I'll say one positive coming out of that. If he wants to be the way he is, he's got the Eric Gordon connection from Bahamas.
Yeah, that too. Yep. I did talk about that earlier. Absolutely.
Yeah. I must have missed that then.
No, it's all good, man. Adrian Olivia says, absolutely love the whole live show, brother. You guys gotta go. You guys have a good night. Much love as always. Well, thank you so much, Adrian. And again, incredible artwork that you did.
Amazing.
That's something I'll humbly brag about for the rest of my life. And I'm not even joking. So, somebody in the comments says, Ayton will be traded after January 15th. That is when the no trade clause is up. The Suns need a defensive big. Okay, well, Deandre Ayton can become that defensive big. Did we lose Casey? What's going on here?
I'm still here. My camera's just messed up. Sorry, y'all.
What's going on?
I'm trying to fix my camera. Leave me alone.
Oh, God. Geek, do you think KD will go the entire season without missing more than a few weeks worth of games? With all due respect, Big Bacon Beats, I don't even want to think about injuries right now, especially with what happened to Nick Chubb. And I just don't want to think of Suns injuries at all. So maybe later we'll talk about that, trying to keep the positive vibes going here. But yeah, you guys, I think that's it. I think I went over everything I needed to go over. So unless somebody has like a last second great comment here, we'll probably get out of here. And yeah, DJ Ocho, I don't know if you caught the shout out earlier. Thank you for the awesome hat, man. He said, wonder, send it. Yeah, I shouted you out earlier, man. But yeah, Casey, you got anything else, man?
Follow me on Twitter, and I got nothing.
You got any big projects coming out besides the stuff you did for me?
Just a lot of work, especially now taking up that position with Proline Mockups, doing some stuff with them. I have some things lined up for the King season. We'll see.
Light the beam.
Light the beam. I got the shirt. I already saw the shirt back there. It says Kings.
I think I was watching like a Kings video on TikTok, and like I left a comment. I legit meant this. I said I'm low key rooting for the Kings, like no joke. Like I was on their bandwagon last season. I'm happy for them. They had a great season. I think they're going to be a really good team this year. Their fan base super passionate. Even during those losing years, those Kings fans were still showing up to all the games.
I feel bad. I feel bad jumping in now because definitely the fans of the organization have dealt with more than they've dealt with it for years.
Yep.
Didn't make the playoffs since 2003. It took them 20 years to get back. Like they definitely endured and they deserve this team. Yeah. I hope they accept me and their family. So
yep.
Yeah.
Adrian Olivia says would love to meet so you can receive it with a personal vibe. Yeah, like I said, you guys, when I'm in Phoenix, come find me. Please don't stop me, but please.
That'll be a great clip. That'll be a great clip that Adrian hands you the photo. But you got to return it though. You got to sign it and give it back to Adrian.
For real. And then maybe he can sign it and give it back to me, and I'll frame it.
I think it's already signed. Didn't Adrian already sign it?
Yeah, he signed it. Yeah, he signed it. Yep. But yeah, again, you guys, if you see me in Phoenix, and again, I'll be posting like a video about it. I'll be vlogging, and it's going to be an incredible. I'm literally counting down the days till that trip. I cannot wait, y'all. So, all right, let's see.
I'm gonna call it A in the chat right now.
Yeah, A's always in here trolling, man. He's always in here trolling.
I'd rather root for the Suns than LeBaby.
Last thing I'm going to talk about here. Last thing. I know I said that like 5 minutes ago, but real talk. The last thing. We'll end the show at the hour mark. Leonardo says, "Who is the point?" Frank Vogel's sort of been stressing this, y'all. Not really stressing it, but he's been talking about it a lot. We don't have a point guard. We don't need a point guard. And I know that that's unconventional, and I'm fine with that. We have 3 point guards, 4 point guards on the team. Kevin Durant can play a little point. I used to be against it, but point Booker. Devin Booker can play point. Bradley Beal is going to be the, quote, technical point guard, if you will. And then we got, a couple other guys who I'm probably forgetting, like Jordan Goodwin, I think. And we'll see after training camp what our roster really looks like. But technically, we do not have a point guard. And I think Frank Vogel and the Suns staff is okay with that. Frank Vogel, in his press conference and even afterwards, has said multiple times, and I quote, "We are going to have a multiple ball handler attack." So we got a lot of guys that can take the ball up the court, run the offense, set up plays. And again, you got Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker on your team. Figure it out. We don't need a point guard. That's my mic drop right there. You know what I mean? Great question, Leonardo. So, all right, y'all. Great live show. Again, my apologies for the long overdue live show. Like I said earlier, real life comes first. I was sick, busy, lazy. There really wasn't that much to talk about too, but there was enough here to talk about. This was a great live show. And truly, you guys, I appreciate it. Thank you, DJ Ocho, for the great Summer League hats you sent me. Casey, thank you for the awesome logos that you made me. Pulling them up on the screen right now if you guys can see it. I'll eventually share those to social media. Adrian, Olivia, thank you for the awesome artwork. And yeah, y'all, I think that's it. Follow me on social media, guys. I'm trying my best to upload to TikTok a lot, but you guys know this will always be my number one platform. Never leaving YouTube unless I get canceled or something. But
don't forget, y'all. If it's got to do with the Phoenix Suns,
I'm going to make a video.
He's going to make a video about it. Yeah, there you go.
And if it has to deal with the Sacramento Kings, Casey's going to talk about it.
I'll post about it somewhere.
Occasionally,
I'm still getting my feet wet, so.
Right. All right, y'all. This was a fun show. I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Stay tuned for more. You guys know when the Phoenix Suns news drops, I'm going to be all over it. Crush that like button. Thank you to everybody. And with that being said, as always, go Suns.
up, Suns Geek?